So there I was, minding my own business, basking in the Florida sunshine, when all of a sudden a big, dark, ominous cloud of socialism covered the state. And like a lightning bolt, Andrew Gillum comes down like the second coming of Hugo Chavez, promising all these free things. And before I knew it, I was locked into a battle that sucked out all my time and energy for the past, 3-4 months. And quite honestly, I'm a lot more exhausted than I'm willing to admit. You know, that really brought me a lot of anxiety. Even though the sun has returned, I know that there will be cloudy days again. And what I mean by that little metaphor is, although we defeated Gillum in the midterms, that threat is not gone. I've said time and time again, freedom is our birthright. The battle for our freedom is ongoing. It will never end. It will never cease, because there's always going to be some existential threat that comes to try to challenge that freedom. You go back to 1776. You know, America fought tyranny to become a free sovereign nation. And ever since then, we've been fighting for that freedom. People have died for freedom here. And I have a newfound appreciation for freedom in this country. But in the last week, I've been wondering, like, well, what's next? Now that I've fiercely defended the freedoms of the state that I call home now, what is next for me? And I know you guys have been wondering, like, where you at, Mike? Why haven't you been talking about the caravan and the migrant crisis? And what about Jim Acosta getting his press pass back for the White House? And what about what Kamala Harris said? And truthfully, I could report on those things, but I don't think it's a very strategic use of my time and energy. Now, after what we just dealt with down here and all the election fraud, I look at these other headlines like, oh, Jim Acosta got banned from going to the White House. I'm like, who cares? We'll be over that in 3 days, and there'll be another new headline to get everyone whipped up into a frenzy. I see it as so minuscule, like just distractions. And to be fair, there's no shortage of opinions already on most of these topics. I mean, no offense to the other YouTubers, but they're all covering this stuff. These daily distractions, these headlines that just pop up, and you know, and they do it mostly better than me anyway. So, I mean, there's no reason for me to really report on that. So I'm all about right now sharing truth, because we live in a time where people are watching the tell lie vision and hearing people like Don Lemon, CNN, MSNBC, late night talk show hosts, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert. Everyone with a platform is preaching hatred and division. And we are a nation divided, and a nation divided against itself is going to be easier to conquer. Think about Trump derangement syndrome. It is so freaking real. Now that I'm the most outspoken Trump supporter, one of the more outspoken Trump supporters, like I'm unapologetic about it, I've lost some friends, some followers. You know, people they want nothing to do with me because I put on a red Make America Great Again hat. People responding to stimuli like Pavlov's dogs. I see a red hat, I'm triggered, that person's evil, they're incapable of feeling things, they're a bad human, they're a Nazi. I mean, that's not healthy, guys. Like, do I really need to be a clinical psychologist to say that Trump derangement syndrome is not healthy? Look how people are acting because of who is president. Really? You're going to end a 10-year friendship or a marriage or whatever else? You're going to violently assault someone? It's worth going to jail because of someone that's president? They want us divided, and they're doing a damn good job at it. A damn good job. People will end friendships. I can't even tell you how many people have unfollowed me or, you know, unsubscribed or whatever. And I know I have some friends and family that are judging because they're like, oh my God, I can't believe Mike's not a bleeding heart liberal. I thought he was a liberal. Only good people are liberals. Bad people are conservatives, right? At least that's what the media told me. That's what Tell Lie Vision said. We're much easier to conquer if we're divided. It's easier to distract people and confuse them if they're not really sure what's going on. If they're gaslighted enough, they'll go against their own self-interest in a heartbeat. So my goal is to debunk the lies, you know, expose the bigots, the people that unfollowed me on Instagram and people who don't want anything to do with me because I put on a red hat that said Make America Great Again. They probably feel like they're just some super moral, awesome human beings, but in reality, they're intolerant and bigoted. Never have I ever unfriended someone because of their political opinion, or any opinion for that matter. I've never in my life said, you know what, I can't be your friend anymore because you like yellow Skittles, so can't be friends anymore. Unfriending you. Done. I just really think that it's important for me to use my voice and my platform the best way possible. When I think about the best way to do that and all the darkness in the world, I want to drive the darkness out of our society. There's so much darkness. There's so much evil. There's so much hatred. The manifestation of evil is the human actions, from terrorism to human trafficking to homicide. They're all rooted from the same cause. It's Satan. Satan will rear his ugly head, and he's always going to be out there. So the way I see it, the battle is never over. It's ongoing. I'm totally happy committing my life to securing freedom for myself, my family, my neighbors, the country, truthfully, the world, because not everyone in the world is free. You know, so that's a battle worth fighting. Yeah, so if I'm only making one video a week for now, that's why. It's because I just don't see myself, you know, commenting on the daily distractions. I mean, don't get me wrong, I will definitely chime in on some of that stuff, but for the most part, I see it for exactly what it is. It's just a distraction. We should all be focused on the deeply, deeply corrupt establishment, you know, that's trying to take over our country. They are totally fine stealing elections in broad daylight. They're like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? We'll steal those elections, and if we don't like the outcome, we'll circumvent the laws and we'll get a judge that will overturn Florida state law or push it aside until we get the outcomes we want. We don't care about the will of the people. We don't care that we were outvoted. We want power, and we will do whatever we can to get that power. So that's what I'm fighting against, guys. I haven't forgot about making videos and all that. I've just been exhausted, honestly. That election down here really took a lot of energy out of me. Sound off in the comments, like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, please. Thank you to everyone that has donated. I try to email everyone that donates to me, and for people that send private messages, I try to get to you guys too. Thank you guys all for your support and love. Like, share, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all the social media accounts. Catch you in the next one.